Hi everybody to this stay-at-home coaching clip number 5. If you check out the previous videos, we have talked about the passing schemes, one in the quick area, the other one in the vertical passing game area. And now we add the next component to the offense, which is the most basic run scheme, in my opinion, to be ready to run some RPO stuff later on. So we're kind of building up towards an entire system or towards an entire offense. And so today we're gonna talk about inside zone lock. And again, there's many different ways how to run this. This is one way. I have less than 10 minutes time in order to get it on camera. So let's see where this leads us. I will try to draw this up versus all kinds of defenses, and I want to start with a regular 40 over front, and I will start in a spread offense, so we will also expect kind of a spread defense. Let's say this is a 4-3 defense, but these outside linebackers are not truly in the box, but also have some kind of pass coverage responsibility. If they were truly in the box, we would not really mess around with running the football in this picture. But the initial statement, if you check out the last videos, was take what the defense gives you. And everything we got right here is a 5-man blocking scheme. Okay, this is very important. So with this inside zone lock, we will block the most important 5 defenders for the run. As it is a zone, it is played on the front side just like a zone, very vertical though. We can talk in detail more at some other point. So we will have a vertical double team up to this linebacker right here. So this backside guard will be in a combination block on this nose guy, on this A-gap defender, up to the middle linebacker. And now because they have a double team, the right guard knows he will not get any help from the center, so he will have a man block by himself. And as it is a vertical, I will draw in the tailback in a second, we want to make sure that there is as little inside penetration as possible. The play side tackle, this is inside zone lock right. This is very important here, okay? The play side tackle also has a man block because he knows his right guard is in a man block, so he cannot expect any help. And now the word lock comes in because in comparison to a true inside zone, this backside tackle would climb up and we would read this defensive end right here. But in inside zone lock, we will block this defender with the backside tackle. Now the tailback will also be on a very vertical path, and he does not, if we have a midline right here, he does not want to cross the midline, and the quarterback in his handoff is in charge of him not having to cross the midline. So the quarterback will, with his feet in the mesh right here, step on the midline and make a parallel with his shoulders. So he basically makes a wall for the running back. The running back, I will draw this in a little nicer, will step towards the quarterback and now downhill, presses this double team hard and wants to stay as vertical with his initial cut as possible off of this double team. Okay, if played correctly, this middle linebacker will not be able to have a clear read if he has to defend this gap or this gap. Basically the running back will hide so for such a long time behind this vertical double team that he also cannot make a decision, and then we are in an advantage. So what about these other 2 linebackers, right? You would say, well, if he is just eating up the block, then this guy jumps in and makes a tackle. This is now where the run pass option comes into place. With 5 offensive linemen, we can block 5 guys, and in inside zone lock, we decide that we block the 5 most inside guys and rely on the quarterback and the routes of the wide receivers to control the outside guys. Okay, so it's not inside zone read, yeah, it's inside zone lock. Okay. Now we will draw this also again. It's still very basic defenses as well. I mean, in under 10 minutes I cannot make an answer for everything, but here we are facing an underfront, right? So let's check this out. This double team now, okay, this double team right here must get to the number 5 defender, and this is this guy. So however this vertical, and they just stay vertical, 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 and we know that this linebacker at some point has to come to the double team in order to be able to attack the tailback, who is again working this double team hard. He's pressing this double team hard, so we know it doesn't really matter where this guy is because he has to come to the double team anyways, as the tailback now is again trying to ride this double team as well as possible. The placer tackle knows he cannot expect any help because his guard is in a double team, so he has a man block. And on the backside, as we are playing lock technique, the backside is locking their man always, okay? So this would be this scheme. We don't like it a whole lot, yeah, because it's not as vertical. You can see already the tailback kind of has to come over the middle, which is not intended. So in this case, we would probably try to play inside zone lock left. But we will not in this picture because we say we have an answer for the 5. Again, out here, they're controlled by something else than the offensive line. Something else must mean out of a 10 personnel look, a pass route, okay? But let's now look at this from a 2-back perspective, okay? Nothing changes, and this is what I like a lot about it. Nothing really changes also out of 2-back, just that with the fullback we do have an extra blocker. So let's say we will face again a 40 front, and I mean the most they can really put in the box is kind of a 4-3 defense, right? We again now it is 5-man for the O-line, but we have a fullback, so it's 6. So again, we have to decide who is the 5th most dangerous for our offensive line, and it's the most vertical guy again. So we remember from the first picture, nothing has changed here. This is just the first picture. Now we just add a fullback, and he knows to go backside linebacker right here, or backside open gap. He will find this linebacker right here. And now we will hit this probably in here. And how do we control this guy? The quarterback, again in the vertical mesh, has his eyes on him, and we will have to control him with a pass route. For example, if a slot receiver is out here, just with the regular sit to the outside at 5. Okay, so the same run scheme, just out of 2-back, ran quite successful against a 4-3 box. If he decides to really crash hard inside, well, the quarterback will have to pull out the ball and throw the ball right here. Okay, and of course there's also a single receiver. If they man up, for example, safety comes down here, it also means they are in man out here, and probably now this or this individual route would be a great one to hit initially. So this is now already the next step. I didn't want to get this far, but as you can see, one scheme inside zone lock, very, very simple, but very consistent, has answers to everything, because the question we want to answer, who are the most important 5 defenders to block for our vertical inside run. Thanks for tuning in. See you the next time for a stay-at-home coaching clip.